You're listening to the Wicked Theory Podcast.
We're very happy to have you back, even for a short visit.
And here we go.
Broadcasting to you live from the WB studio lot, where everyone gets a Joker movie. As soon as they walk in, you get a Joker movie, and you get a Joker movie, and you get a Joker movie, and you get a Joker movie. Bob, play us in.
Up your ass.
Scooby-Doo, where are you? You better be here. What's going on? What's the matter? Talk to me. Speak. Oh, your mic. You want your mic up, too?
All right,
ladies.
now?
Now I know what you're saying. I couldn't hear you because the mic wasn't up. I guess that's what it was.
That's just Bill's way of reminding everybody who's in charge.
Yeah. No one paid their dues.
You know what? I can just pull this motherfucker out right now.
That's true. I am dependent on you this week. All right, ladies and gentlemen, those voices you hear. First one, that's me. I'm Bill Sweeney, blah, 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 blah. And I got Jay.
Uh-huh.
I got Ed.
If he could act, he wouldn't be playing the Minotaur.
Okay. And we got Dom in the house.
What up, y'all?
And then
Ed, I like the quote.
And then Brother Bob on guitar.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hey, how's it going? What brings you guys by?
It's payday.
What? Excuse me?
He's handing out the checks this week.
He's like, what? We get paid?
Yep.
He's handing out the checks
I would
this
like
week.
to, before
I'm
we
sorry, I just get paid.
before we get deep down and into it, I want
As the
to.
director of music.
I would like to acknowledge that the hero of the day is Dom Torrey.
Yes.
Because at the last minute, when I pulled out my laptop today, I realized that I had left my power block, my cord, at the job. And Dom
He
was
left it
like,
at work.
I left it at work. And Dom was like, yo, I could go get that for you. And I was like, yes, you could. And he did. And he came back literally as I was reading the opening line.
Yeah.
Just hero of the day, man.
I'm
Just hero of
Don't
the
clap.
day.
Don't clap.
I say ye Dom Torrey.
Oh my God. I thought you really were going to
Do
do
you remember
that
to
again.
lock up again?
Yep.
Okay, good.
That's good. All right. Did you bring the dumpster in?
No, I did not.
Good thing. All right. So
I was tempted to do so. Though.
you were like, damn, look at that thing. That's just sitting out here this whole time. All right. So this is episode 121 because why not?
Bill, I am just filled with geek entertainment that I've consumed that I need to just excrete out over the course of the next 3 hours.
Don't say excrete.
Verbally?
Don't say
Verbal?
excrete.
Is it at least a verbal thing?
Yes.
That's Ed's
All right.
way of saying he's full of shit.
But we've all known that. So that's good because we're going to get to news. And then also there's a DC TV report that's
Yes.
going to pop up in between this and the after show.
With a really cool retro pick. Listen to that. And
Yeah.
watch that episode I review.
Okay, no.
Do it.
It's good.
Do it. Do it now.
Now,
No, not now.
but like soon.
Yes.
Well, if you're not listening to this live, you probably can do it right
Yeah,
now.
but come back to this though.
Right, exactly.
Fair enough. Pause and come back.
Yeah.
We're going to get to some email. If there's anything in there, hint, hint, anybody listening live, hey, you could be listening live if you wanted to. We do it live every Saturday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
We're live?
Again. On the Mixlers. And, Mixler.com, mixlr.com/wicked-theory. Send us email, folks, podcast@wickedtheory.com. Last stuff here in the official business. Just a reminder, check out our liner notes. That's another podcast. I was a guest. Ed's going to be a guest soon.
Yes.
Sooner or later, we'll probably make the rounds around the table here, and each one of us will be a guest. But the seal has been broken.
Cool show. I've listened to the episode
What'd you
that
think?
you did. Thought it was good. Thought it was really great. I really like the setup for that show a lot. It's cool because I'm a big music guy.
Sure.
personally. So I mentioned it to you off air that I'm kind of jealous of the idea. Kinda wish I
Right. The setup that he's
thought
got.
I wish I came up with it.
It is pretty cool, like,
Cool-
where it's
cool
like
idea,
everybody
cool
brings
show.
their own thing, and they try and to just showcase it off to other people to maybe try out and enjoy.
I'm probably going to go back and listen to a few episodes just to see
Yeah, it's good.
what some people have brought.
It's worth
you
it.
know?
I've checked out a bunch.
Yeah.
So with that, check out our liner notes. Also, if anybody's interested on our other podcast, Preacher vs. Preacher, there's a contest going. It's called Absolute PvP. You could find that hashtag Absolute PvP. There's a little bit of activity in that, folks. It's one of these, hey, promote us and we'll reward you kind of things. So you can listen to the newest episode at about the 59-minute mark. That's the Backdoors episode.
But listen to the full thing.
Yeah, listen to the full thing, even if you're not watching the show. But if you want to win that book,
Yeah,
like,
and it's a serious book. It's more than just a book.
is your mic on?
I don't know. Is it?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, no,
I can hear him.
it's there.
You sounded all right to everybody else?
Hello?
Oh, okay.
Hello.
You sounded a little low to me. No. Yeah, no, it's a serious fucking book, man. Hardcover, slipcase, all this crazy stuff. Scripts.
Yeah, it comes with all sorts of extras, so it's really more than a book.
It's more than $100 value.
Really?
It's oversized and all this kind of crazy shit. So it's a great way to start reading the book. So maybe you don't want to listen to the whole show. You don't want to hear the spoilers. You can jump to just the 59-minute mark. That's where we talk about the contest. There's also a post on wickedtheory.com. Can't miss it. There's a thing in the top corner. You can jump right to it. We'd love it if people fucking participated in that. If you want to see what Chad and V's been up to, go to the hashtag Absolute PvP.
He's working towards getting the second one now.
Oh boy. He's
Ed's
posted,
got a mad look on his face.
he's posted stuff and he's already kind of like teased what he's got coming. He sent me something in the Dropbox link and I was like, I can't look at it yet if it's not done. I was like, that's going to taint it. I was like, just finish it and then post it.
That's almost unfair though, because he knows what's in this. He knows that it's a very cool pack.
He won the first one.
He won the first. Right, that's where I'm going. He won the first one. He knows the deal. He knows that it's definitely worth it and it's worth the effort. So get on it, people.
Yeah, totally. And then also, last thing in here, in the upfronts, basically, is Uncle Jay posted up a video of getting toys. No, I'm just fucking with you. His Force Friday Star Wars scavenger hunt, basically.
Kind of, sort of.
Kind of, sort of.
If there's anything that gets me as giddy as a little fucking schoolgirl at Star Wars fucking shit. Force Friday was yesterday, which is the official countdown of The Last Jedi, which Ed is not looking forward to. Because it doesn't have Klingons in it.
Is that what it is?
What
If
it
it doesn't have
is.
Klingons,
But
he's going home?
neither does his new Star Trek.
But you know, exactly. You're fucking right. Goddamn fucking right. Jesus Christ.
But
You know what? At least they didn't try. At least they didn't try. At least they know what they are. They know what they fucking are.
Yep.
Oh my God! Well done.
See what I did there?
well
See
well
that?
played. Well played.
Now, Force Friday is basically when they launch all the new merchandise and shit. And
So by buying all those toys, you know the whole story of the movie now, right?
no, because there is no spoilers on anything. No books. No books are being released. No soundtrack information. Nothing.
You said
Nothing
that
about
actually
the
a
movie.
lot of that stuff isn't going to come out until the week,
day of.
the day of the movie release.
Right.
Because last couple times, they were putting out the novels.
That
like,
was the
months
prequels.
Yeah. Well, even I thought with
No, not with Force Awakens. That
No.
was with the prequels.
okay, because that aftershock or whatever after something. got one
No.
book. No. Okay.
no.
Fair enough. I'm not into as deep as you.
I
so.
mean, I think maybe the
I
comic
defer.
book Shattered Empire might have started running, but that did not have detailed spoilers.
That's the book I meant. Shattered
yeah,
Empire.
that was because that started from the end of Jedi. It didn't spoil anything from Force Awakens.
No, the prequels were spoiled because they released all the shit, all the books and stuff.
Oh, I thought
Like-
you meant just rotten, like spoiled, like bad.
No.
milk.
I'm talking like spoilers.
they were.
I'm talking about like plot points.
Yeah, the plot points were spoiled,
No, they're
like bad milk.
the plot points are well kept. They're well under wraps.
Well, good, because
No, there's characters' names and that's about it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But I
Okay.
don't go crazy. I'm not a fucking aficionado. And
your
fucking
goal was
toys.
only to get a couple of things.
My goal was to only get like a Luke figure because I had to get that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Do
I
we-
did, and I got the 6-inch Black Series
Jedi
figure, which
Jesus.
was cool. Yeah,
Nice.
but it's a cool looking figure.
Do we think it like really matters to the movie about like why they're doing this, like plot wise?
No,
Oh,
just
like
the-
specifically, maybe they're being more secretive than
Right.
usual.
That's what. Yeah. Right.
well, I think that this is the official pump for the film. This is the first
So you,
anticipating.
like you're saying it's just like a marketing thing,
yeah,
just to like okay.
it's to gear up for the movie, man. It's 3.5 months
Mm.
away. We're gonna get a trailer probably next month.
But you know what, though, to something Dom was saying it ties to something that you've been saying, which is that like you've got a feeling that like this movie is going to be the one that kind of starts to deviate
Yeah.
And so maybe that is kind of tied to what Don was asking about. Maybe they are being a little extra secretive because, like, there is some stuff that starts to set this on its own path, maybe.
Look, I said
no, it's all speculation.
I said it before and I say it again. Anybody who's ever seen Brick or Looper,
Oh man.
you know what I'm talking about? This is the writer and
Looper.
director. This is the writer and director of the new Star Wars film. So we're gonna
with that
definitely,
Looper, bro.
Yeah.
we're definitely gonna get something, off the charts.
Everybody seen Looper here?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so just one
I
quick.
haven't.
Okay, well, just one quick question then. Let's not dwell too much. Just to kind of. Do you really think he looked like Bruce Willis? Did he really look like a young Bruce Willis to you in that movie?
I think they put
No.
makeup on him too. Look,
I didn't
No,
even
but I'm
see
saying,
it,
do
and
you
I
think
say
that
no.
was successful? Did it feel like that was young Bruce Willis?
I don't think it bothered.
Facially?
It didn't bother me really.
Kind of pulled me out of it. Like I feel like I was looking too hard at it.
Did that little baby and Look Who's Talking look like fucking Bruce Willis? 'Cause
spitting image, bro.
he was blonde haired, man.
No, I know, but I'm saying,
Yeah,
but
but
there was
it's a
this
baby,
goal.
dude, you
There
know?
was this goal to kind of like do a lot of work
Yeah.
with his face to make him look like
Well,
a younger Bruce Willis, and I just.
We like
I was
talking baby
distracted
movies.
by it.
Okay, I'll tell you this much.
Yeah.
He didn't look like Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Well, that's for
that-
sure.
that-
That's for sure. I'm like, who is this guy?
And that to me was enough.
Okay, fair enough.
That to me
Yeah.
was enough.
Okay,
That's,
sure.
That's a fair statement.
That's a
on
good
that.
way to put it because it did kind of pull it away from him. Like it was
Yeah.
like I could pretend it was some other guy.
Yeah.
I mean, it did look like he had electrical tape on for his eyebrows.
Yeah, there was. It looked like Bruce might have had too much work
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. But if you want to see Joseph Gordon-Levitt looking like Joseph Gordon-Levitt and doing an amazing job, go see Brick. That is something that is underseen.
You guys keep saying it.
and
I got to
then-
write it
yeah.
down. I'm going to write it down for a second time.
Well, I think now, a lot of fans are probably Googling Ryan Johnson and Googling his resume.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that Brick and Looper are probably going to be seen a lot the next few months, and people are going to be talking about it and tweeting about it. It's going to be great. But just to cap this off, I did a video. It's check my Twitter feed, and it'll explain all the horrors and fun and
like the joys of
and
shopping
the
for Star
double
Wars
crossing,
stuff.
and it's great.
The double crossing. All right, cool. No, very cool, very cool. Who's in the chat room? Who's hanging out?
Ooh, well, Clint Thiel just arrived.
Clint, where you been, laddie?
Yo.
Yeah, we also got Wesley, Zombie John, and James Luciana.
Whoa, James
Whoa.
Wills, yeah. And it's funny, the Vengeful Jedi walked in just as we're like moving away from Star Wars talk for a second.
Yep.
Well, not really, because we got a chat game in there. And in honor of Force Friday, we're going to do some Star Wars Tarantino style.
Examples include Reservoir Ewoks, Hut Fiction, and Marcellus Windu.
So there you go. Take names and phrases
fantastic.
of any kind from Star Wars and mash them up with something that's totally Quentin Tarantino.
Jabba
Doesn't seem...
Unchained.
There you go. Jabba Unchained.
Or Django Fett Unchained.
There you go. Leia Unchained, because she was wearing those chains for a little bit.
I was really referencing the fact that she strangled him with the chain.
Oh, even better. Yeah, even better. Love it. Love it. I love it. So, with that, I think we do news.
News.
Is it news time yet? Someone check the clock.
You might want to let me start this one off, Ed, because this is going into territory that upsets you.
Well, let play the intro first.
Yeah. One thing at a time. One thing at a time. There's some warm up on that one. News o'clock.
News o'clock.
Cha 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 cha. And we're still in the land of Star Wars, it looks like, with the first one.
Yeah, I took this one because Ed gets upset.
So I heard that they're going to make C-3PO like a real boy.
Right.
And they got the guy who plays Vision to play him.
No, the Klingons from the original Star Trek are going to be in Star Wars now.
There's
That's
a
what's gonna happen.
transdimensional rift. I love it.
Warp particles.
I don't know the story. I didn't read the article.
No. So Paul Bettany, who plays the Vision, if you don't know who that is.
And the voice of Jarvis.
Jarvis.
Jarvis. So, he's joining the Han Solo movie. Now, I don't know the context. I don't think much has been revealed.
The context is that he's in the middle of reshoots now. All the stuff
there's
that
yeah.
he had to go and reshoot, he's in the middle of that now. And
I heard he's playing a shaved Wookiee.
There you go. It makes sense.
but there was a guy that was just dismissed. His name was Michael K. Williams.
Yeah,
he
yeah,
was
yeah.
on
The Wire.
The Wire, right?
Yeah.
He couldn't reshoot his scenes. He moved on to something else. So
Yeah, schedule.
I don't know if this is him being recast. I don't know if they're just taking that character out and doing a whole new character.
Yeah.
But Paul Bettany's a great actor, man. And
Really solid. I loved him in Beautiful Mind and Master and Commander.
right. and this is his third go-round with Ron Howard. So they got a good little rapport. Right, exactly.
Right round like a record, baby.
So this is great news for the film.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Still not sure though. Still don't know. I
About
don't
what?
know, man.
Oh, about the whole project overall?
I don't know, man.
I don't know, man. It's wait and see, man.
I mean, this is Patrick, man.
For once, I agree with you, Ed. Honestly, I'm
Yeah.
not too hyped about the Han
Yeah.
Solo movie either.
It is, look, I got a lot of hope for it. You know what I mean?
The only good
but
thing
it is a
about
thing.
it is that Daenerys Targaryen, isn't it?
She's in it too?
Yeah.
Yeah, she
forgot.
is in it. Yeah.
I forgot.
Amelia
Is she bringing
Clarke.
dragons?
Amelia Clarke.
Is
Yeah.
she bringing dragons?
Hopefully.
I hope.
I will say this.
Space dragons!
Hopefully she just says Dracarys or some shit. 'Cause
But
that's hot, yo.
you got to say this.
Is she gonna fuck a family?
Maybe
that
Han,
seems to
maybe
be,
Han's her
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Maybe Han's her nephew and she fucks him on a ship.
See, now it all makes sense. That's why you hire an actress like that, of that caliber.
We heard one little go-round of drama,
Yeah.
and that was just a replacement of a director. Haven't heard any drama since.
No, absolutely
But
not.
you know what? To replace
You're wrong. Move on.
That's a big fucking
You're wrong.
Are we retreading some
That's
ground
like a
here?
really big
Keep
thing,
your
man.
creature from the Black fucking Lagoon Klingons and let's
Clint,
move on.
if you haven't been listening, Clint, I'm sure this is quite the hubbub on your show as well.
This isn't like oh, an actor's not working out, or maybe a director of photography was a little too big for his britches.
I kind of agree with Jay that yes, normally this level of a shakeup is a big questionable deal, but the fact that it's Ron Howard kind of cancels it out. I think it offsets whatever kind of questionability. It's like we had to get rid of the coach in the middle. Like I'm gonna try a sports reference here, okay? Watch this, okay? we had to get rid of the coach in the middle of the season. But we got Yogi Berra to come in.
Yeah, Dom, back me up, Dom.
He's not the absolute best guy, but he's pretty fucking good.
When has replacing a coach in the middle of the season ever led to a championship?
Probably a few times, not often.
Could it have led to the
But it
led to the
did happen.
playoffs?
It did happen with the Devils.
I'm not asking for
There you
championships.
go, you see?
I'm not saying you need championships, but did it get you to playoffs?
The 49ers went
Yeah,
to
I
the
mean,
Super
sometimes.
Bowl
Yeah.
with a replacement coach and a second quarterback.
No, replacing quarterback.
The Devils won the Stanley Cup one year after firing their coach at the
I may
at
have
the trade
opened up a
deadline.
can
That's
of worms.
correct.
I may have
Yeah,
opened up a can of sports I can't close.
49ers. That was Harbaugh's
Dom
first
just closed
year.
it for you.
Fair enough. All right. I don't know where I am anymore now with
You
this
have to
argument.
admit,
but
we haven't heard boo out of these motherfuckers. It's just
no,
you know,
yeah. And Ron Howard's been keeping us up to date. Looks like everything's kind of moving ahead. Sure,
Yeah,
it's
everything's
probably
fine.
going longer than people thought it was gonna, like quote unquote reshoots.
Well, no,
But-
because
but-
he still had to finish the movie
And then do reshoot.
do the reshoot.
Sure. So it's still running probably close to
It's
original
probably
schedule.
on
Yeah,
schedule.
he had to make sure he could see the crap that he had before he had to rewrite everything.
Right.
Well,
and he's bringing in some guns now.
bringing
you
in
know
some
what
guns.
I mean? Yeah.
I'm going to push the next
James
one
Gunn.
into the last because I
Okay.
feel like we can go along with that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's going to be a lot of opinions on that. So let's just write to Sony has managed to get the rights back for The Crow. And I feel like
The rights back.
well, they kicked around for a while. Not back. You're right. It landed there. It's
Yeah.
landed there now. And this is just a thing that's been kicked around for a long time. I just don't know anymore. I really love The Crow, the book. The movie was pretty good. You know what I mean? I feel like we don't really need to kind of go there, but we've. How many
that's
times have we
probably-
said that? How many times have we said that about a property?
That's probably because the people that did have the rights were sitting on it for so long.
Oh, yeah.
Relativity, I think it's called.
Yeah. If somebody jumps to the article into the link,
Well, they went on. Yeah, they went out of business, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they had the rights, and we probably heard a lot of development hell shit.
Oh yeah,
over
absolutely.
the last few years.
It was Bradley Cooper. It was I think even what's his name? We just mentioned him before from Looper. I think was attached for a hot second.
Yeah.
Jason Momoa is the most recent guy that was attached to it.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, where's it going to go now?
But now that it's a bigger company,
now it's a bigger company. Who knows? It might be even more of a fucking hot mess. But the one thing that does kind of hold some hope is that the guys who are attached to it now are saying about being more truthful to the original book,
Right.
which is usually always better. And then it'll shine or sink on
The
its own
original-
merits.
But the original was pretty close to the book.
It was pretty close. I'd say it's like 60 to 70% like there.
yeah,
Like, you know what I mean?
I thought so.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As far as like matching up with
I
the
don't
original.
see how they could do much more with it.
I think
make
if you,
it more,
it's about leaving out the stuff that they added in,
okay.
then I think that's all you really need to do. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
And bring it more back to just grounding it into like something that's a little bit more abstract and feels a little colder and a little less like not
Yeah, 'cause it
campy, but it
needs that.
felt, you know what I mean? It needs to be more grounded, you know what I mean, in a way. I just keep saying, like, I just want to see a black and white cartoon
Yeah, but
version.
you know, is goth a big deal now? Because this seems like it would be a little more 90s thing.
I wouldn't mind if they said we're going to do a time period,
I'm not talking about time period turning into a time period. I'm talking about doing it now in this time period.
of modern day.
Like reaction
as
from
a
fans.
People.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know that you're going to get enough people.
I don't know
Because
if it's
you're
going to be
talking about something that's very goth.
Yeah.
And goth is not what it was back in the 90s.
But I don't think that's the element that's going to that they're trying to attract either. I think
Well, in
they're
the
just trying to
90s,
attract a comic book
how
audience.
How are you going to translate it?
Well,
though,
here's the thing. Like,
to modernize it, you going to hip hop it?
No.
I think they got lucky in the 90s by modernizing it and making it just more reflective of rock music kind of influence, not so hard with goth. Sure, there's like a Cure song or two in there, but it's not like his hair is like the goth style, like it's in the book and stuff like that.
No,
and it's
I think goth
doesn't swim
people-
in it. The
Let
book
me-
swims in that shit.
No,
Let me
the-
ask you a question. Why do you guys think they couldn't do hip hop though? Like, because I really don't know anything about.
It's
it.
about just kind of saying if they're going to say that we're going to stay more towards the book,
right. Okay.
then it's about just that.
But
I mean,
like,
if it's about
music an element to
I
it though?
think I think the mood of the music is important, and I
Yeah.
don't think hip hop ever has that kind of mood.
no, I think it's got that mood, but I think it's just a different thing tonally.
Hip hop's about boasting about what kind of a man you are.
No, not at all. Not always. Not always. That's every rock song.
Well, to me, it has such.
That's every song.
That's not true.
Well, it's not true about rap. That it's every song is that. Like,
I
you
didn't say
know.
it was true about rap. I said it was true about hip hop. Two different forms of music.
Oh, fair enough then. But I mean, it's. I think rap and hip hop is so the
Rap
two
is-
phrases.
Rap is happier, and hip hop is more.
See, actually, I feel like it's the other way around. I think it's open to interpretation of
but
rap
then-
and hip
All
hop.
right, but then you don't include guys like Will Smith as rappers because he was a rapper.
I think he's a rapper, but he raps hip hop. That's the thing. Like, I always saw hip hop as a lighter form of rap being a little bit more aggressive. If you have to do a thing, but it's supposed to be, I think, kind of like interspace.
I wouldn't want a
interstitial.
reimagining of it. I would rather them stick to the original material that O'Barr was going for.
Yes, that's my thing.
That's where I think it works. And it does work as more of a goth moody piece.
I think you just trap it to the year it came out.
Right. That's the only, we're not trying to grab the goth audience. We're trying to grab like a superhero audience, I think.
I mean, I don't know the difference. I'm just confused as to why this Dark Horizons article, the picture they use is a picture of an action figure of Sting, the wrestler from WCW.
Well, just to
really-
illustrate how far and wide the influence of the Crow's look and style went before. No, I don't know. I'm just
It's the
going to
quality of the research that people do.
Yeah. Maybe there's an offhanded joke in there
I
somewhere.
actually wrote a letter last week to an actual newspaper.
Whoa,
Not
slow
checking
the fuck down. Did you get a stamp and everything?
No,
Okay.
it was an email.
Woo.
Email.
I thought we got up in the time machine.
No, if you're gonna have an article about Staten Island, get your facts right.
Well, there you go. You're going to write about my hometown. But, yeah, I just kind of think Crow is the thing that's like, stick close to the material. That's the way to be different this time.
what I just said.
And I really feel like you trap it to the year it came out. And even if it was kind of like a thing where, like, it might have been a little bit in the pocket and dated for then so what? I want to see more of a period piece of the 80s or something like that.
Yeah,
But the director, though, is most of the reason why that film works, too, is because he's a very dark director. Has anybody ever seen Dark City?
Well, you're talking about the original. You're talking about the original
film.
Crow.
Yeah, the
Proyas.
original Crow.
Yeah, Proyas,
Proyas.
yeah.
His work is phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He even managed to get a decent
Didn't
Will
he do
Smith vehicle.
Didn't he do the original Captain America?
No.
Who was that?
Albert Pionn or something
Okay,
like
it
that.
was similar
It's
initials.
the guy that did
Something-
Cyborg.
Yeah, similar initials. It was a thing like that. I really for a real long time I was worried about the Crow when I was younger because I thought it was the guy who did Captain America.
Albert
And I could
Pionn,
never
yeah.
get it out of my head because the initials
Yeah.
are the same, and I had this kind of thing with the last names. Anyway, go.
He's a canon director.
right. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that if he's a very dark director. Dark City shows that.
yeah.
So I think that in his hands, it was even more dark than the comic book got. I thought.
No. Well, I mean, maybe it's just about how things hit you on a personal level, but like for me, The Crow was like a book where after I read it, I almost wanted to fucking
it's
jump
deep.
out a window.
Well,
Like,
it's,
you know what I mean?
it's deep. Yeah.
Like, yeah.
But you know
Like,
what?
I never felt. I mean, I might have been 16 or 17 when I read it. I might get a little overconnected with it, but like I never really felt for a fucking book, or like really hit me in an emotional nerve.
Well, I read
the way
that book.
that got me at that time. You know what I
Well,
mean?
it's a goth version of Romeo and Juliet,
Yeah.
basically.
Well, I mean, to a degree,
Well,
it's
but
a revenge tale.
yeah, it's a
but
revenge
like,
story.
It's the fact that he's so empty and hollow, and because I was 16 and probably like a miserable kid, that resonated or that hit a nerve or that just felt like, it had weight. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just saying.
But I gotta say, this thing's been bouncing around for like 15, 20 years. I don't see it happening anytime soon.
I'm in no rush for it.
I will
I'll tell you
believe
that.
this when I see it.
As much as I love it,
Yeah.
I'm in no rush for it.
Yeah. Besides, Bruce Lee's got a kid. They're all dead
Yeah.
except his daughter. So.
Yeah, you'll get especially after Ghost in the Shell bombs, you'll get this right after that Akira movie we've been waiting for.
Oh
all
my
these years.
God! Can you? Jesus Christ! If
I know, they might start making that one now after the Scarlett Johansson Ghost in the Shell.
No,
movie.
No, the thing
I'm hoping.
bombed.
I'm hoping. Yeah, that was the big push away from anything like that.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you want to do Akira? You want to do it right? Just get it like an amazing Japanese director to go out
Yeah.
to Japan and just pay him big budget money to go do it out there with an old cast that's Japanese.
But you know what? In terms of visual style,
Yeah.
I put The Crow in the same category as like Akira and Ghost in the Shell. It's got that same kind of really moody, dark feel to
Sure.
it.
It swims
you
in
know.
its tone. It
Yeah.
really is deep in its tones and what it's going for. So I give you that.
Yeah.
That's why I want to see, like, really in my heart, would love to see an animated version where they really try and capture his original art style.
Yeah.
As like soft and mushy and imperfect as it was, not like something
Yeah.
that's really super overproduced and super clean, like a Warner Brothers cartoon.
Yeah.
But something that feels like indie almost, and just adapt the original story and just do it in black and white, like an hour and a half cartoon or whatever.
Give it to Kevin Smith.
I had so much hope for it until right then. Nah. All right.
He just needs $25,000 in credit cards to do it.
All right. So, Lord of the Flies remake is coming. Well,
Why?
it's been announced in a thing because this is what happens. But
It's public domain and it's easy to do.
probably. So the shift up this time is that it's all girls. All girls.
Oh, so this should be a really vicious movie with like. Oh, you ever see girls fight, man? Girls,
Yeah, well,
girls are vicious.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty hot, I think.
Easy, buddy. Easy.
No.
No,
We're talking
easy.
8 and 9-year-old. We're not talking about
Easy, because I
18.
watched a lot of stuff on this, and a lot of people were kind of losing track on that, and what's the age group? And like, it's like, no, they're young.
Are they
They're
really?
young.
Are they still going to go with that? I thought they were going to be
9
like
and
all
10-year-old.
like.
Oh, the CW it and make them like 19 and 20
I
college
bet you
age?
that's what some producer's saying.
Well, yeah. But this is actually from the guys who are behind it are more indie, soft kind
Right.
of stuff.
Right.
And so you're going to get something that's probably trying to do this kind of like, it's faithful but with a twist kind of a thing. And it's got a lot of people in arms, like kind
Yeah.
of all bent out of shape. Like both sides of the feminist kind of argument are kind of like have different reasons for like not being cool about it and all that. And, you know,
I don't think they should do it. To be honest with you.
Will they make the most psychotic one that way because she's just gotten her period for the first time? Or
See,
what?
and then you got guys
You
like
know what
Bob. He goes right
that's
for the
the kind of
fucking
thing-
basic kind of joke.
No, but that's the kind of thing that you're talking about was happening on the on the forum when you're reading all the stuff.
Oh yeah. And you know what's funny though too is that like, so supposedly like the question had been long ago posed to the original author of the book of why not do it all girls, and he's like, I thought of that, and it's like,
Oh, could I read the exact quote? Because it's in the Times article.
please.
If you land with a group of little boys, they are like molded, scaled-down society within more like scaled-down society than a group of little girls would be. Don't ask me why, and this is a terrible thing to say because I'm going to be chased from held up breakfast by all the women who talk about equality. This has nothing to do with equality at all. I mean, I think women are foolish to pretend they're equal to men. They're far superior and always have been. But one thing you cannot do with them is take a bunch of them and boil them down, so to speak, into a set of little girls who would then become a kind of image of civilization of society.
So at the very least, like,
What?
I think
so I
it's
think
a little
he's try-
heady.
Yeah, I think he's trying to say is when putting them together in a situation like that is going to be a little more aggressive and violent than with boys because boys from early on were taught to not do certain things like don't hit girls. We're taught that we're going to be in charge one day in more or less some kind of situation like in a family or whatever.
Right.
We're going to be the man of the house, and we're going to need to be responsible about certain things. So whether or not we've gotten all the rules at that point, we still know something. Where girls are just kind of like brought up, and it's like okay, let's make sure that you.
It might be interesting.
You don't have to.
I think. Well, here's a different
You don't
thing.
have to tell them those same rules because they can get to go through life more at their own pace and learn how to.
I think the thing for
I'm digressing, and it's
Yeah.
starting to sound bad. So I think you guys get the idea.
I think if anything, the worldview that guy's describing though is a different worldview of maybe how young girls were raised at that time, which kind of harkens to what Bob is saying. That, you know, if you drop a bunch of boys, their kind of life prep that they've been given might be more suited to survival and this kind of pack making, whereas girls, maybe not. Like, you know what I mean? Girls less often are joining, like, you know, Boy Scouts or there's Girl Scouts, but, you know, is it exactly the same? Is it turn? You know, but my point being that
girls,
in general,
like, how many girls do you know who have friends who they go around saying, "Oh, I hate that girl"?
Well, I think that's what he was thinking too.
That quick flip flop.
The cattiness that can happen.
Yeah.
Well, all joking aside, I think that it might be interesting from, you know, a little girl point of view, put them in that situation. But I don't think they should fuck with the original text.
Yeah, I think this is an interesting idea.
I don't think they really need
Or
to.
call it something else.
Other than put it in some kind of put certain situations in a slightly different context. You know, but we're talking about a lot of kids running around, getting more and more pissed off at each other and throwing rocks.
I think a lot of it too is going to depend on when they base it. Like if these are modern era girls, as opposed to like even the book, even the remake. I think that came out in the '90s or whatever was still like a remake, like it's supposed to be the '50s, like it's supposed to be like the '40s or '50s, like the black and white one was.
Yeah,
I saw the black and white one. I remember that. I read some of the book.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting idea, but I think ultimately, if you're gonna do changes like this, don't call it Lord of the Flies. Call it something
Exactly.
else.
I agree with that.
I think in the end, what happens is that it ends up being a very different animal.
Sorry, Bill.
No, it's fine.
That's just what's going to happen if
Every now and then.
the Jack.
Mute your tabs.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But, yeah, I think it just becomes a kind of a different animal. I have no problem with it still being called Lord of the Flies if you hit certain kinds of things similarly. Like one kid becomes the outcast. I don't know if you call him Piggy anymore. There's a whole fight for the conch shell, and that's the symbolism and stuff like that. I think the good point is that the structure would be different, though. The social and that would be different. Now, what that is, I ain't no child psychologist, and certainly have had trouble understanding ladies all my life, so I'm not going to start now. But that's a thing to look forward to as the world freaks out about it. Okay, so next one here is at the Orville. That show coming from Fox.
Oh, it looks so good.
That's.
I feel so happy. When
Well, you
I watch
should
those
because
trailers.
the star of it says that the show is for disgruntled Star Trek fans.
Yes, it
at
is.
its heart. That it'll address all this kinds of shit.
Then it's a very appropriate that it's going to be coming out when it's coming out.
Yes.
In conjunction with the CBS show.
Yeah. So I don't have it up in front of me. I don't know if Ed does.
I believe he does.
Because I know I didn't put it in the notes, so therefore I am not fully responsible for it knowing
I
what's in
actually
it.
put that in the notes.
Did you? What?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you guys start signing these things. So I know.
actually labeled.
So I know
it-
who to blame.
I actually labeled it. This one's for Ed in all caps.
You did. I just figured it was Jay because that was something I hadn't seen in lately, and I didn't know
Yeah.
you were in it.
Yeah, so
I
he's-
should have checked.
So so he was being interviewed by Screen Rant, and Mark Jackson, who plays the android Isaac on the show on the Orville. Of course, saying at San Diego Comic-Con we had a lot of people queuing in to get into our panel because it's Seth MacFarlane. I think people will give it a go. I think it's a lot of the Star Trek fans disgruntled about not having Star Trek for years, and he takes a jab at Discovery, saying that it's going to be available online and you have to pay a subscription for it. So I think there's going to be a few disgruntled fans who will love this show, as well as Seth MacFarlane's fans. So we'll have quite the mix.
They'll get some carryover
Yeah.
from people who are just like, well, that's the closest thing I get.
Yeah,
That's
but-
free.
But you know what? I will say, when I watch The Orville, when I look at all those trailers, do you know what it looks like?
It looks like a new Star Trek
It
show.
looks like Star Trek.
Yeah, it looks like how Star Trek Discovery probably should look.
Yeah.
Because at least like, okay, yeah, it's
Like
all
a
updated.
modern version.
Yeah, because Star Trek Discovery doesn't even look like a Star Trek show.
No.
Not even like in the least bit. Until the logo starts flying around and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but even what's funny is like when that logo pops up at the end of the Discovery Trail and that little music, it's like that doesn't make jibe with anything I just saw. Like, if
It's like, what is that? How come you guys didn't just redesign the shit out of that?
well, that's out of place.
That should be like an isosceles triangle now, that thing. All right. So last one here is definitely going to be a bit of a conversation, I think, because it can go a couple places. Is that there's a hot rumor, we stress rumor, that out of all this talk last week about Joker movies, and that Scorsese might be tied as a producer role that one of the reasons that he is that they're hoping that maybe that they'll get DiCaprio as the Joker, and I wonder what the panel thinks of that.
All right. Well, before we get into it, I just want to ask. So I guess this means, and Ed, you could probably answer this better than anyone else. I guess this means that they're just scrapping Suicide Squad now at this point.
Oh no! Suicide Squad 2 is still in development. They're still planning to film that as well.
But
as
is he going to be the Joker in that then, or
No,
is it going to
no.
be Jared Leto?
So here's the thing.
Okay, so DC has decided that they're going to do a separate banner, a separate imprint
That was a good timing on that one.
Sorry.
of DC films that will be separate from the DCEU.
Notifications.
Because they don't think that's going to make it complicated for fans. Because it's already, you have to keep track of the TV doesn't have anything to do with the movies. Now some of the movies won't have anything to do with the other movies.
Right.
It's not confusing at all.
No. Well,
I mean, I think for guys like us, it's not.
Yeah.
But for the you know,
I was being sarcastic.
the general. No, obviously.
but I wasn't sure which way.
Yeah.
But it's true though. It's like, it's the best they can do with this soup that they want to make. I
Yeah.
think it's not a bad idea. It's like Elseworlds. It's just a way for them to be able to say,
Yeah.
hey, these aren't tied to anything else.
Yeah.
So,
Well, they could do the Ant-Man kind of. Well, they can do what Ant-Man can get away with.
well, yeah, they don't even have
An movie like Ant-Man is like a different animal than what's going on with the rest of the Marvel universe.
Sure, but it's still
part of
tied.
its family, right? But it's still tied. With something like that, though, you don't have to necessarily tie it heavily. You could just, have a cameo.
Right. Well, that's the thing. Like,
know what
they'll
I
be
mean?
able to do all that stuff, but in an even looser way where it's like it's 1970s.
Yeah.
And so everything is.
Well, yeah, and that's the whole thing is like this Joker story. It's meant to be like this, hard crime thriller that takes place in the early '80s.
Right.
And that's why they're trying. And the thing that this article doesn't point out, but I have seen other things, is evidently Jared Leto found out about this, and he's the one who I don't know if he leaked it or whatnot, but he's said to be very, very upset.
Yeah, he's not happy about
No,
like
he's-
somebody else is going to be Joker. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is that? It's going to like cause
Well, that would be
confusion.
because he wasn't a very good Joker.
Yeah, well, that's what he's probably wondering
he
is
was
what that
good,
means.
personally.
I mean, his performance.
I didn't think he was
good.
bad either.
No, I think his performance.
He just
was
didn't get
fine.
enough,
I don't
really.
think the character of the Joker for that movie was very.
They didn't do much with him.
Yeah, they didn't do much with
yeah.
him, and
But
he
that's-
was really like that interpretation of the Joker. Really wasn't. I didn't like.
The visualization of him, his costuming and his design really didn't land for a lot of people. Didn't mind his performance.
I dug it because
that's everything in a nutshell for me. Bill.
Mm-hmm.
we've gotten so many different interpretations of like what kind of guy,
Yeah.
what kind of criminal the Joker is, and we
Yeah.
haven't gotten like the white, like drug dealer,
Trash,
white trash
street
kind of guy, street guy. You know
That's
what I mean?
of a modern
And I
style.
love that. Like I would even love the Solo movie to be about that. You know?
Yeah.
Is he ultimately supposed to be that calculating though, and that much of a businessman? I mean, he's supposed to be.
He's always super
he's always, like,
calculating to, like how
Right.
Batman is.
Well,
you
yeah,
know?
but that's super calculating in a crime spree kind of way, a violent kind of way, not calculating in a empire kind of way.
Well, let me.
I mean, at different times, he's different things, even in the comics. I mean, the look doesn't change as much as it's changed in the movies, like the physical look.
Right.
But at different times, sometimes he's like, he kind of runs gangs, or like he's been a gang leader
Yeah,
boss, and
well,
at other times not. Very solo and just crazy Joker,
Yeah.
Looney Toony guy by himself. But
Yeah,
know.
it goes back and forth because he was originally this big monster chaos in the 40s, and then over the years he sort of just became the leader of a gang of robbers, and then
Yeah.
kind of, I think they gave him his balls back a little bit in Denny O'Neil in the 70s,
Right.
And then after Dark Knight Returns, he was just this agent of chaos, and really just
like whatever means to an end to
Yeah.
get those stories out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and like-
sometimes he's got a crew, sometimes he doesn't.
yeah, and I like Death of the Family is
Yeah.
pretty much a horror movie.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, but that's just as an like, and that's him acting more or less solo.
Yeah.
You know,
But I think Leo in this role is really great. Like I
Yeah.
think this is his like movie to really like
Yeah.
you think he's
really
would really
implant
do it?
him in
He's already done
In
that
history.
though. He did Gilbert Grape.
well, let me.
what?
He
No.
did Gilbert Grape. I mean, wasn't that more? or
What
less
he's
the
got to
same kind of
do,
thing?
what he's got to do with this is be as intense as Heath Ledger was,
Yeah,
but somehow put
Different.
a different spin
Yeah.
on that.
I heard
you
a
know what
good
I mean?
po- a
Because that's
decent-
the thing that was missing from Jared Leto's Joker. That I felt that he wasn't aggressive enough, or it wasn't like intense enough.
Maybe if he makes his insanity more intense.
Exactly.
The only
Instead of the violence.
like I wasn't sold on it like at all. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, I just don't see it. And the only thing that got me close was I was watching a guy talk about it, and he was on Screen Junkies, I think, and he was saying how, like, you know, if he takes that intensity that we saw a little bit of in Django when he's what's his name, Candy, and it's that whole speech and he's doing all that yelling and screaming. Like, there's a certain kind of, like, you don't get to see him be intense and evil anytime and stuff, really. You know what I mean? That's the closest you get, and maybe that's a hint, or like a, you know, it's not exactly what he would do probably, but it's closest you're going to get to a peak. I was like, yeah, but still doesn't have me really sold on it. Like, I feel like it's not quite what he would think was his thing. I don't know.
Also, the thing is, evidently Todd Phillips is co-writing a script right now.
Right.
The thing that these articles have uncovered is that Scorsese has not signed on yet officially.
Yeah.
And evidently the whole reason that they're trying to get him is they think that he can convince DiCaprio.
Right.
Which to me says you got nothing.
Yeah.
This is a non-story.
Right. Yeah.
You know, we're still speculating
It's all hopes and dreams.
about bullshit, about a movie that I said 2 weeks ago may never happen.
Yeah, it's dream casting on a project that hasn't even like really materialized much yet. Besides probably like a one-page treatment.
Yeah.
And someone masturbating in the bathroom over this idea.
So here's a so
Let me chime in here because I've not said anything. I wanted everybody.
Hey, when did you get here?
Yeah. Well, you know, you guys fucking rambling and Mr.
They've
Excitement
all
over
interrupted
here.
each other. You're just being a gentleman because you want spotlight.
No, because I think that this is the Joker movie that we deserve, to be honest with you, if it goes this route.
Right.
If they actually make a biographical film of the Joker, like Warren Beatty did with Bugsy, where you actually are showing a criminal mastermind,
Right.
from early age to him actually meeting Batman, you'd have one hell of a crime saga. And especially if you had Scorsese backing this up.
I'm cool with
and
it.
especially if you had DiCaprio.
I think I'm cool with it on whatever end, as long as they don't like try to lock down an origin.
But no, you don't make it racy like a superhero movie or anything like that. You make it a moody, dramatic piece.
It's Scarface, kind of.
Or
for lack of a better
even better,
example.
kind of Bugsy would be would be a better reference because it is a lavish piece and it takes its time, but what you're watching is physical violence, insanity. You know what I mean?
And that's in Bugsy?
No. Well, yeah, actually it is because Bugsy
I should
was
watch
nuts.
Bugsy, I guess.
Bugsy's actually not a bad movie.
I kind of passed on Bugsy.
But it was kind of lavish and fine, and then then he goes nuts,
And then it gets messy.
Right.
and then it gets messy.
Gotcha.
So I think that it
I like
can be
messy.
that times.
Have you seen my house?
It can be that times 100
Gotcha.
with a character like the Joker.
All right.
So this could be an opportunity for them to do a standalone piece, and if they do it right, you're going to have one fuck of a movie.
Hey, don't get me wrong, man. It's definitely like,
No Batman, no superheroes. You just make it about him. You want to put Batman as the last thing that happens. Last scene,
I like that.
Like that first encounter with Batman in the original
or not even.
as the Joker. No.
Just maybe the silhouette of the bat, him looking at it, and it fades out.
Now I don't want them to do this storyline for this movie for this version with Leo, but the end of the New 52 with Scott Snyder,
Right.
when Joker is like this ancient like being that like fucking was around, like,
Right, when you get like this kind of like
and he
maybe not reveal kind
like
of thing.
he's like immortal kind of like,
Yeah.
There are 3 different Jokers.
right. That
Yeah.
was nuts. I love that whole whole entire Scott Snyder run was amazing. I would love for them to
Like
do
the final fight kind of a, because it's a
Yeah.
final fight kind of a thing.
What I'm thinking is, with all these different ideas for Joker movies that are bouncing around, who else do you think is going to be a good Joker? I was thinking about it while you guys are talking. I'm thinking maybe even Matthew McConaughey would actually make a good Joker.
Matthew McConaughey be a good one.
I think
This is
he's
where I was
he
going to
might
switch
be
it
a
to
little
when
too-
I realized Jay hadn't spoken yet.
Yeah.
So.
See, so I'm thinking
call.
someone like Dan Stevens or Matt Smith.
I heard. I watched Screen Junkies. I've been watching a lot of Screen Junkies, and they do a fight thing. It's very similar to Pitch versus Pitch, and they did one for Joker. And I think the best one I heard was Paul Dano, and it's not because like
Steve Buscemi.
At the later stages,
20 years ago.
when the makeup has affected his face or something.
Yeah.
He doesn't need much now. Just give him white face.
Just
Give him
paint
white
him up.
face, and there's a little shadowing in his natural jowls and all that.
You would definitely have to get into the insane portion of his mind and,
Yeah.
and make that work
Oh,
in the
yeah,
film.
absolutely.
But I
In
don't-
any version, like who would be good?
Hyper,
Like
bouncing around, insane kind of thing, and and somehow it all still seems to come together.
make
That
it a
kind of thing.
lavish biographical crime caper,
but who?
and you got yourself a film.
right, yeah, but who? But if not Leo, who would be good as Joker?
I think Paul Dano could pull it off. I think.
That's
I
from
absolutely.
There Will Be Blood.
Yeah, and he loves playing creepy weirdos.
Yeah.
But he
Jason
would be
Statham?
good.
Who's that?
Jason Statham.
Stop it.
If Bob's got no serious, I love it. If Bob's got no serious answer, he'll just throw out like Shekels the Clown. How about
Papa Smurf.
Dom
Smurf?
DeLuise.
Dom Do- Perfect.
Crispin Glover.
Crispin Glover, not bad. Crispin Glover, he's fucking just weird and crazy on his own.
He would have been great in '89.
You might lose control
What
of a guy
about
like that though.
what's
He
his
can
name?
still do it, I
Cable.
think.
Cable, Josh Brolin.
Just Josh
Do
Brolin.
not give him
Everybody,
another-
he gets
do
to be
not-
everybody.
Do not give him another comic book guy.
He's got enough. He's getting greedy.
So for me, it's
Yeah.
like
Well, he could be Archie because he's already got DC and he's got Marvel.
Yeah, he
Now
can be like,
he needs to be
He could be
someone from
Moose.
Image.
He could be
Yeah.
Moose from
Yeah.
Archie.
Spawn.
What were you gonna say,
for me, it's like a guy but maybe not exactly like Ryan Reynolds, like someone like that's can do
Do it.
serious,
He's
hasn't really done it yet, but like can do a real serious thing, but like can also put humor to it, because I think that's something that even like the original Dark Knight Joker
Yeah,
kind of missed was like that humor aspect of him.
yeah,
Where it's
really
like-
being funny.
where he tries to really just be funny all the time, and it's hit and miss in that movie,
So-
but
Well, you know what's funny about
It is
Joker
there.
is that
Deadpool and a Joker mask, basically.
what's funny about Joker is like I never really found him to ever really make me laugh
Yeah.
in the movies anyway. Even Nicholson's is like saying crazy shit that's kind of like very jokey, but it's never like, oh, hey, that's a good one. That's fucking that's witty. That's
He
sharp.
has a couple of funny.
No, I
funny
find
lines.
Nicholson's Joker hysterical.
Yeah.
I
Oh
find
yeah,
Nicholson.
there's some funny ones,
Yeah.
but his delivery is not necessarily the funny. You have to get the funny anyway.
His
Fair
the
enough.
delivery is Jack funny.
Yeah.
That's what
Right.
makes it
Yeah.
work. 'cause
Never
it's
rub
Jack.
Never
You
rub
know?
another man's rhubarb.
Yeah, like what?
Oscar
never worked.
Isaac would
That
be
never worked
interesting.
for me.
Oscar Isaac would be interesting.
Oscar Isaac.
because he's a really good actor.
No, he's really good.
I think that I actually do think the guy that has the look and the feel for it would be Matt Smith from Doctor Who.
Yeah.
The guy who plays.
He's
Prince
I
Philip
bet
on
you
The
he's
Crown
got
now.
wow, he's got that Brian Boland kind of drawing kind of a look to him.
You see that smile?
Yeah, I'm
It's
thinking about him now.
Fucking creepy.
And you could leave the bow tie on.
What about what's his name? He's
Okay,
on. I'm sorry.
Bob, go.
He's on Broad Street. He was Kilgrave.
Tenet.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Another doctor.
Another Doctor Who.
Another
works.
doctor.
but now it's the only one. I can't picture anybody else doing this role. It's fucking Ramsey from fucking Game of Thrones.
Oh, the kid who was on.
I couldn't even try to pronounce his name. It's like
Yeah, I
it's
figured.
like Ray
He was
Wan.
also on.
Googer or some shit.
Oh shit.
He's in the Inhumans.
He's in the Inhumans,
He's like the villain. the
and
bad
he
guy.
was in the BBC show Misfits.
Yes.
Played
Ramsey
the time
Bolton.
traveler kid. But yeah, he plays a good fucking
He'd be
insane.
great.
John Goodman would be a good Joker.
Yeah, John Goodman. Perfect. Perfect.
He is a
What
Joker.
about what's his name? Who did the Joker? The voice of the Joker? Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill, sure.
He kind of mirrored. There's a film called Sushi Girl. Have you heard of this?
I saw a clip of it the other day.
He kind of reminds me
I
of a
didn't know-
Joker-esque character.
He's
in
insane,
that.
right? He's an
great.
insane murder killer guy, right?
And he's great, yeah.
He's from the 80s. He's got a mustache.
No, he's got like the hair, kind of like Heath Ledger's hair.
Yeah. But
know
I
what I
think
mean?
he's got a mustache in it.
No.
No?
No.
All right, because I was watching something with him where he's like in a fucking...
Yeah, my Toby Hooper clip.
Yeah,
And he's,
he's got a mustache.
That's called Body Bags.
The body bag. Okay, and body bags then. That's from body bags.
Yeah.
All right, I was like, where did I see it? Figures it'd be from you. Guys
That,
mentioning
but
them.
that was the clip that showed that he was a really good villain.
All right. What do you got?
No, he was going to say something.
What do you got?
No, I said it. What guy was I gonna say?
Yeah.
I said the guy Ramsey from Ramsey
okay.
Bolton from
Ewan Rayan.
Game of Thrones. Ewan Rayan. Yeah.
There you go.
He's in.
That sounds
Inhumans.
right.
I think he's playing like the big bad in that.
Yeah,
show.
Inhumans. Yeah, he's the big...
He's fucking like sinister as fuck. This dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
Lance Henriksen.
he is. What?
Bob's giving us all the guys for the last Joker story.
He is.
Like when Joker's gonna die, Bob's giving us all the old guys. All right, so that's that. Mm-hmm. with the news, basically. Right?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure.
Bye news.
Goodbye, news. On to the next thing.
Meanwhile,
Well, you want to do the chat game review?
Yeah, fuck it. Let's do that too.
All right, fine.
Wait, real quick. Does anybody have Joker names? Was there anybody naming Joker names in there?
Joker names.
Well, for actors. Was
Peter
there anybody?
Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage. There you go.
There we go.
Yeah.
I like it.
Actually, I think, but he'd be better off as a Riddler.
He'd be a great fucking Riddler.
He would be
Would he?
great.
He would be great.
He would be great.
All right, let's get into the chat game.
So the theme was Star Wars Tarantino style.
Sure. I'm not even gonna look at the list, and I want you to just do it and make me laugh.
All right, so there's not a lot here. They struggled, but
Okay,
we
fair
got some
enough.
good ones here.
Okay.
Inglorious Banthas,
Nice.
From Dusk Till Dantooine,
Okay.
Kill Ben,
Nice.
Force Proof,
Ah, very good.
Nice.
Tatooine Romance,
Nice.
Grievous House, From Dagobah Till Death Star 2, Torchblood Memory.
That's deep.
Tashi's Blood Money.
Tashi's Blood Money. Okay. Episode 3, Revenge of Marcellus Wallace.
Nice. Nice.
Kill Ben, The Whole Solo Affair. Where Banks? Banks dead, baby. Banks dead. Padme Brown.
Bink's dead, baby. Bink's dead.
Lando Unchained.
Oh,
Nice.
The Gold Lightsaber. Imagine Christopher Walken telling this story.
In my ass.
The Hateful.
The whole thing is big.
The Hateful BB-8.
Nice. Nice. That's
my favorite.
Nice. Nice.
Planet Tatooine. Palpatine Fiction. And Reservoir Akbar.
Nice. Nice.
the Hateful BB-8 is great.
Reservoir
I
Band.
like the Reservoir Akbar one too.
BB-8.
Django Fett Unchained.
Oh, that's great shit.
So meanwhile,
Meanwhile, we'll try that again.
meanwhile,
I probably didn't have to play it twice, but I did. It's just a button. It's just a button. All right, so we all watched some stuff, and I'm going to throw it to Jay and Ed basically first because we were just talking about Inhumans a little bit. And you two actually went to IMAX.
yes.
Oh shit.
Paid big money
Oh shit.
and saw that shit.
For a TV episode.
For the first 2 episodes.
I didn't pay big money. I saw it for $10 because I went to the fucking matinee.
You
Oh, I'm
want
sorry. I didn't mean to fucking insult you.
you want you,
Making a correction.
you
Fair
want-
enough.
You want to flip who see who talks
No,
first?
you go first.
Okay.
Rock, paper,
Because-
scissors.
Go ahead.
So so this was the first 2 episodes. The whole series evidently has been filmed with IMAX cameras.
Okay, cool. I wasn't sure about that.
You know, and it is available for a 2-week run exclusively on IMAX screens.
So I'll be able to download it later on tonight.
Yeah, it'll be. Yeah. You can find something.
In IMAX.
So how was it?
You need a bigger TV, bro.
I gotta get a 4K TV.
You know what?
projector.
Projected on the wall.
There you go.
The trailers and the press for this have not been great.
Right.
This has been getting
Agreed.
a lot of flack, and it is not nearly as bad as that would say.
Oh, okay.
There are a lot
Alright.
of things to like in this series.
Okay.
There's some interesting family dynamics that are going on. Visually, I think it's really cool. Lockjaw, what's funny is the things that I think would be tantamount in this are sort of in the background.
Okay.
Like I thought Lockjaw would be a bigger character.
He's expensive.
Yes, but he's not. He's not around that
the
much.
Right.
And you don't see as much of a personality. He's just this kind of tool that walks in and out, and then
Just a quiet dog.
Yeah.
Just a real big, quiet dog.
and there's some Game of Thrones intrigue style stuff that.
Did they show where Lockjaw shits? Because that's what I was wondering.
No, they do not.
So I think the first thing you do to a dog like that is you train it to teleport somewhere, anywhere, shit
Yeah.
there, and then teleport back
Yeah.
home.
Just go to the neighbor's yard. No one will know it was you.
Neighbor's
Yeah.
too close for a pile that big, man.
Yeah, there's also a lot of this movie that takes place in Hawaii because evidently that's where they shot the whole thing.
That's right.
So they
Beautiful.
figure, if they're going to show up on Earth somewhere, let's just.
Let's go big or go home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's kind of what they're in the comic, like their base, whatever their planet is called.
Yeah, Attilan, Atlan.
Adelon.
Adelon.
It
There you go.
looks like Hawaii. It's gorgeous, you know.
Yeah.
You could always tell. But does he pop up in the first 2 episodes?
Lockjaw?
No. The guy that I said earlier.
Maximus.
For
He
Joker?
plays Maximus.
Maximus, yes.
He does. Okay.
He's the,
Yes,
he's, the
he
big,
is.
he's the big antagonist.
Yeah. Basically, not to spoil, but sort of to spoil. There's a coup that happened.
A coup d'etat.
Yes.
But that's French.
Yes.
Not really.
So there's a hostile takeover.
Right.
The thing that's weird about this show,
Most of it?
yeah, there's a very, very high concept. There's a lot to keep track of.
Sure.
I think the Medusa effects are not great. They're okay, but especially on an IMAX screen, you have all this wily hair that's running around.
Yeah.
That was a little, and there. Every time I'm like, oh, this is getting really good. There's one little thing that shows up that it's like, oh, I don't know.
Some like little something with a special effect or some prop.
Or
some...
just the writing.
Oh.
Like there's one speech that Maximus makes early in the beginning to the people before this coup happens. That's just like so. It just feels so forced and it's clunkily written. It's just like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know if you could get me on your side, buddy.
Yeah, and Anson Mount plays Black Bolt.
Sure.
And this is the main thing with Inhumans. A lot of people said would make it hard to adapt. Is your main hero is a mute, or he has to be because that's the function of his character.
Right.
And I didn't really feel
like you heard his voice.
No, I didn't.
Character.
I didn't connect with the main characters in this. And when the coup happens, I don't really understand why that's a bad thing. Other than the fact that Maximus is a whiny little bitch. And he probably shouldn't be in charge, but I don't understand why he's any better than Black Bolt and Medusa.
Now, Jay.
Yeah.
What's your take?
Yeah.
So I would say...
Oh, yeah, what's your
sorry.
close up? What's your close up on?
So
I'm going to sit back.
Trash for IMAX, cash for show. I'm going to watch the show on the air, but I don't think you need to pay dollars to see this in IMAX.
Fair enough.
Go, Jay.
You done?
Yeah, I'm done.
All right.
Next.
Now batting.
Number 2.
Actually,
Jeter.
you know what? Ed makes some good points, but he might be nitpicking a little too much.
This is what I do, Jay.
Yeah, but that's why you didn't enjoy yourself, because you're concentrating on the flaws. And there's not. I mean, there's flaws, but there's.
Fuck you, you motherfucker, you idiot.
You're a moron.
This is the kind of show,
Right.
Where
Let's give Jay his fair shot.
I'm gonna call it a show because that's what it is. All right. The fact that it was shot in IMAX,
Right.
there's some really amazing shots in the movie.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Whereas you're not gonna get it if you see it on. You need a big screen TV.
That's
to really
that's what's
grasp
taking
it.
advantage of that.
You know what I mean?
Right.
The
The IMAX is catering.
You can snag an IMAX ticket for $10 if you go before 6 in Jersey.
Right.
So, but I thought it was cool, man. I didn't think it was half bad. Is it the greatest thing? No.
Right.
But I think that with what they had, they gave me something that is better than it was projected to be.
Okay. Yeah.
Because the trailers were.
Yeah, the trailers don't do it justice.
Right.
It suffered from bad trailers. You go there and you're going to see 2 really cool episodes on a big screen.
Right.
You paid you pay and you just watch both straight.
Yeah, well, they edited it together as a movie.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? And I know that when I left there, I was ready for the next episode.
Cool.
You know what I mean? So if it's enough for me to actually walk out of there and say I want to go see the next one, I'm going to need to wait 3 weeks before I do see.
But you
the
are
third
going to end
one.
up watching the show?
Yeah.
You were definitely bought in?
Yeah, I'm bought in.
Well, that's a good sign.
It's not.
I think Ed was too, right?
Yeah, well, Ed's going to continue to watch it, of course.
Because I'm a whore.
Yeah, right. If you hated it, you were going to keep watching.
Now the actors, they're not bad. They're your basic, actors. You know what I mean? But given for the 75 minutes, 'cause it's really quick. It's 2 45-minute episodes.
I could see that.
Or 40-minute episodes pieced together. So I don't think there was enough to really flesh it out a little bit.
Okay.
To really get a grasp on it, but I can definitely tell who the good guy is, who the bad guy is, and what's going on. So as is it as good as Daredevil or no? Is it as good as any Netflix show? It's a whole different animal.
It's better than Iron Fist.
Well, that's not hard to do.
Thank God.
It's better than Iron Fist.
But I think it's
1 second. The 2 hours, the hour plus of this versus the 10 or 13 hours of that.
Better than Iron Fist.
Roger that.
you
Continue.
know, the only thing I was scared of was that I only thought it was going to be the first 2 episodes shot in IMAX, but he just clarified it that it is shot in IMAX. So it's going to look good.
Yeah, right.
It's going to look really good.
And that was one of my concerns, is that it wouldn't be consistent. Like, you know what I mean? But at
Me
least
too. That's what I
if that
thought.
continues, that's good.
But I was into it, man. I thought it was a really good Saturday matinee science fiction story too.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That you're just waiting for the next chapter. So I was into it, man. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but definitely check it out in IMAX because it looks good in IMAX.
Well, that's the
In the
thing.
big screen.
Well, that's the thing. It's built for it, so
Yeah.
That better be the best possible presentation for it. You know what I mean? So I wonder how those will look on TV now, shrunken down. If it'll lose its, I mean, obviously it's going to lose its impact for you guys because, you saw it that way. So for you to look at it now on television, those first 2 episodes, or even episode 3, it's going to feel you're going to feel or notice something in the back of your head. Whereas for like someone like me who didn't, you know what I mean? I wonder if suddenly on a TV it'll feel.
It's not a
Shrunken.
it's not a terrible series whatsoever.
that's
In
cool.
fact, I think that
Gives me hope.
even some of the effects, I mean Medusa. I mean, I wasn't complaining about it. You know what I mean? I saw it there. It is what it is. But what are you gonna do? It's TV.
It's TV.
It's television.
Is that what that is?
It's TVs.
Is that what that meant this whole time?
Ed, what else you
TV?
got on the meanwhile? Yeah.
Television? I didn't know.
What else do I got?
That's all I had
Anybody?
this week. Was in here.
Yeah. So CW
Oh.
had a special this past Wednesday.
Yeah.
They ran Vixen, the CW Seed animated series.
Okay.
Which
Okay.
is like 5-minute webisodes.
You all right?
It's Scotch, man.
No, I'm just all right. Just could have
So
I'm
they,
drinking
loud.
and smoking over
was
here,
loud
man.
into the microphone. When someone was talking.
Your
Just
enjoyment
saying.
was well heard.
All right.
so anyway, Vixen. These 5.
Ed, do you talk about the '80s girl band?
No. I'm talking about the DC superhero.
Can you talk about the '80s girl band?
Yeah.
You didn't see that one coming?
Yeah, who has a necklace that gives her the abilities of jungle animals.
So can you talk about the '80s girl band?
Yeah.
All right.
The hot 80s girl band.
So
Yeah.
there have been 2 seasons so far. So,
Sure.
So DC Entertainment edited those 2 together, padded them out a bit, and made it into a movie that's being released on DVD this week.
Ooh.
And the CW aired it.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be condescending. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Did that come off condescending?
CW aired it,
Interrupting him, man.
and there were some snippets of stuff that's going to be happening on their superhero live action shows. So that was fun, and I was pleasantly surprised. I wasn't, didn't know much about the character, but it's a really, really well done.
Yeah, I watched the animated series online. It's good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, and it's
Quick.
It's
It's like 10-minute episodes.
yeah, and it's one of those things like this is a D-grade character, like not really known, had a brief run on the Justice League in the '80s.
Right.
Hasn't really been played around with much, but there's still a lot there that you can craft a good story with.
Sure.
So go, I promote that.
And
Go
she-
check that out.
I think there's 2 live action versions of her that pop up in the
Yeah,
the live action shows, right?
The character from this movie did an episode of Arrow.
Right.
And then a different actress did an episode on Flash, right?
It might have been the
I think
same
they
one.
changed actresses.
Yeah, they changed actresses, and there's a different version of her. It's her grandmother from the 50s is on Legends of Tomorrow right now.
Okay.
She showed up last season.
Of course you did.
Both
Time
of them were
travel.
hot. That's all I remember. That was it.
Both of them were hot.
Yeah, that's really. I
Okay.
mean, and
Well,
like
that's all that matters.
their costumes, like
Very
very
tight.
revealing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, she's dating Citizen Steel right now.
Tight animal motif
Right.
costumes on females.
Chicken tight leather pads, man. Oof.
On another meanwhile,
Yeah.
two things.
You're in here
comic
for
books.
comic books.
Yeah,
Yep.
comic books, right?
Comics on this show?
On this
Yeah.
show, remember
For
comics?
Bob's Meanwhile?
Yeah.
Yes, for my meanwhile. Well, it dawned on me that a very,
Well, hey,
a very
but-
good book, which had taken a hiatus for very important personal reasons, is back. Southern Bastards.
Yep.
So anyone who's been waiting for that,
Yeah.
It's back. Pick it up.
Head down to the comic shop.
Absolutely.
It's one of the perennial favorites on the show.
Absolutely. And Letter 44.
Yeah.
Letter 44 finally wrapped up.
Yep.
So
Oh.
Had its last issue this week.
Don't spoil it, please.
It ended.
Wait. What
I
was
just ruined it. It ended.
what was
I
the
knew it
issue
was gonna
number?
End soon. because-
35.
Didn't end at 44.
No.
Oh.
You know what? God bless him, because to stretch it out that much longer, you would have felt it. You know,
Okay.
It kind of hit a
Yeah.
little patch where it's like,
Yeah.
are we stretching? And it's like a little bit,
It's at
but
the
not
end of the
too
third trade.
bad. But it was
It's at
getting
the end of the
close.
third trade.
And then
and then it jumped back on.
and then it jumped into its last leg of the story, like kind of thing.
Yeah.
So at just the
So-
right time. But
Yeah. Overall, excellent story. You're going to see it on TV soon, so pick it up.
yeah,
Hopefully.
hopefully.
Yeah, it's been optioned, right?
It's been optioned. I think it was at Fox. Haven't heard much about it lately, but so we'll see.
Fox is starting to get high on superhero stuff. They're
Yeah.
actually starting to find some success
Yeah.
with things like Legion.
With Legion and now Gifted coming out this year on
Right.
Fox proper, will that if that does good, that means like all ships rise up in the
Sure.
Sure.
So definitely though, 44. The trades are coming,
Yeah. Trade
So-
paperbacks out for that.
so you can start picking those up and getting on board. It's a good story. You don't have to be a comic book guy. It's not about superheroes.
Yeah, not about superheroes. It's sci-fi, basics, sci-fi,
Yeah, it's
aliens,
basic
but
sci-fi, a little presidential stuff. So
a little politics.
Yeah.
But it's
So-
a good, solid premise.
Yes, absolutely.
And those are two definite recommendations. Whether you like it or not,
Yeah.
from me and Bob. Both go down to your local comic shop. If you don't know where your local comic shop is, you can actually call 1-800-COMIC-BOOK or go to comicshoplocator.com.
Yes.
And if you can't find one within a couple of miles of your house, it's a sign you should open one.
Yeah, well, there you go. Within a certain amount of radius, sure, go for it. Drop 100 out.
Nobody wants to go a mile for a comic book, so I'm getting if you within 10 miles, there's no other ones around. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
And you can almost say that here on Staten Island, and just because there's only two.
Or you can contact Comic Book Jones, and they'll mail you your comics.
Yes, this is true.
They do that.
Yeah, they're good friends and well worth the expense. Go for it.
Yep. So the last thing then I guess goes to me, and it was under Agent Palmer's recommendation, because we were talking about DuckTales.
Jason, right?
Yes.
Oh, good.
No. So it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be, but I thought it was going to be kind of good for what it was. But like if you watched it as a kid and you were like, I can't imagine me watching it now as a grown up. I'll just say that like it's better than it was, I think, a little bit, because it's not as dumbed down.
Okay.
Which is good, because I think they know that they got a cross audience, like people who might be coming to check it out for nostalgia's sake, like grown-ups, and it's got to play to kids. But that's why, like, David Tennant is the voice of Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah.
Is it David Tennant?
Yes, it is.
It is, right? And I just thought I might be mixing up my Doctor Who names. And it's like a cast of, like, 6 people from Saturday Night Live, and, like, who's playing who. And
Well, all they got to do is really follow the template that SpongeBob has had for the past 20 years.
I don't know what that is.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
No, that I know. It's template. That's what I mean.
Yeah, template.
Yeah.
Like the overall idea.
I know what a template is. I don't know what you mean by its template.
Yeah. What
'Cause
is?
I didn't ever watch a
I
lot
don't
of.
think do I have to go into detail? Does it matter?
I guess not.
Like, what is it about SpongeBob that works that you think DuckTales would follow?
Right, that's
Well,
what I mean. Because
it does the same. No, it does the same thing you were saying. All right, somebody smashed Jay's apple.
he was backing up his truck.
No, sorry about that.
Sorry.
No, what was I saying now?
That it should do like whatever SpongeBob does.
Right, because it's a SpongeBob knows it's got to cater to adults as well as to children.
Right. Okay. I wasn't sure that
Okay.
that's what you mean. Okay.
Right.
I wasn't catching
Right.
that. Cool.
And
No.
it's
Yeah.
been doing that for 20-something years.
Right.
Whereas a show like The Simpsons is just because it's on at night, it just does whatever it wants.
Right. And just gears straight to adults, really.
Right.
Yeah, but that's what was good about this. It didn't. I mean, granted, it's not like trying to like be edgy or anything and anything like that. But it didn't feel like I was sitting there and just like, okay, this is like a kid thing.
Right. But now important thing.
Sure.
All right. Do Chip and Dale still look like?
No, they're not in this.
No.
Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
That's chipmunks.
So DuckTales is Scrooge McDuck,
Oh,
Huey,
right.
Dewey, and Louie, and actually Donald is like basically in this too.
Okay.
Which Donald wasn't in the original. Like
Yeah,
he
I was
dropped them
thinking-
off, and then he like you
Well,
know.
they were spin-off.
I don't know. Why.
Yeah.
I was thinking Chip and Dale. I was going to ask you, do they still like Magnum PI and?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
and Hound?
But I'll tell you what though, that's probably coming because if this is
Are
a
they
good
still
success,
Rescue Rangers,
Yeah, you
right?
think of Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers.
there you go.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
and then you had Tailspin.
Oh
and-
my God, Tailspin,
and
too.
Darkwing Duck. That
Yeah.
was the 4-show Disney block for me growing
Oh
up.
my good God.
Darkwing Duck started out as a character on
DuckTales.
DuckTales.
Yep. Yep.
We need a Blu-ray of the Black Cauldron from Disney. If there's anything Disney that needs to be done, fuck the DuckTales. We need
This
fucking
guy,
the Black
I
Cauldron.
need misery.
That was a fucking dark cartoon.
I mean,
man.
yeah. I mean,
Day.
sure. If that's a left turn you want to take,
Disney sees that as the low point in their history,
It should be a high point. It's great.
but no one saw it.
Exactly.
how about they
That's
just do a
it's
good-
our fault as people
Well, how about
not going to see cool shit.
how about they just do a good version of Return to Witch Mountain?
how about a remake of the Black Hole?
There's a porno called The Black Hole.
I'm sure there's just one. Yeah, sure.
That sounds like a series to me.
Yeah, I'm sure it's up to volume 607. But anyway, yeah, my point the whole time was DuckTales. Woo! I don't know. The first episode is the first two episodes actually combined into like one quick run of 45 minutes or something like that. They're you like how I ran with my mispronunciation. They're on it's on YouTube, and that's where I watched it. And it was good. It's something that you can sit through with your kids and probably not like want to kick your fucking TV over. You know
Yeah,
what I
of all
mean?
the kids you have running around here.
Well, not anymore, right?
If that's what
Just
the
don't
show's
answer
doing
it.
for you, Bill, then that's probably all it needs to do.
I'm just trying to help people out, man.
That's how a lot of the Disney XD shows are, though. They're geared towards children, but adults can handle them.
Yeah, they're not meant to drive
they
you
they
crazy.
can tolerate them. So
It's the preschool shit that'll drive you crazy.
Yeah.
Fuck,
Is
I'll
that
tell you
Tron show
Moose
still
ain't
on
moose.
XD?
I think so. Yeah, I go on there every once in a while to check out, like, because
Wizards of Waverly Place.
Star Wars,
Rebels is good.
Rebels
yeah.
is on there, and I watch that.
Yeah.
So
Rebels is good.
yeah,
I hear.
Rebels is very.
That's what I
good.
hear.
I'm not fully caught up yet, but
Me neither.
Doot, 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 doot.
All right, so
That's
what's
wrapping
next?
up the meanwhile. That's wrapping up the meanwhile, kids, and then
Snail mail.
snail mail. Live in studio. That's it, kids. You got it. That was that's all you're getting. One shot from Dom Torrey. All right.
Now, I put out a request on Twitter. Did that bring anything?
Let's see. Let's see. It did.
Ooh.
ooh,
It did.
Okay.
Um,
You get any YouTube spam?
No. Just needed to skim ahead to see who it was from. So this is from Matt G, also known as Matt from the Reasons Are Several podcast. Hey, Matt. It's been a while, buddy. In the new Star Wars Rebels trailer, there are more storylines that are leading right up to Rogue One. Krennic references Saw Gerrera's beef with Mon Mothma, etc. Do you like the way that they are tying these all to the movies and series together, or does it feel like they're overdoing it?
I think it's great, actually. You know,
think-
it
yeah.
brings a little bit more, official business to the series. I think.
I think it's just enough. That's like, it's not the kind of thing where I had to see Rebels to understand Rogue One.
Right.
But it's enough of an Easter egg that if you did see Clone Wars, it was a reward. It was like, hey, oh, okay, I know the extra thing.
You got a little more context.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It fills up the world
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And I
Yeah.
think
And that's what good Easter eggs do.
Right.
They reward people who know the backstory without inhibiting people who don't.
and being so obvious that this is a thing that
Yeah.
you don't know, but it's for some like you know what I mean. Sometimes Easter eggs can feel like that, where it's like, oh, that's the thing I'm supposed to know, but I don't.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a reference
Yeah.
I'm supposed to get, but I don't. But meanwhile, if it's introduced properly or just off to the side, background
Yeah.
kind of a thing,
The,
right?
the story still makes sense without knowing it.
Right.
I mean, Star Wars Rebels is basically an official canon show that for people that can't get enough of Star Wars, you're getting
Right.
more of it, and it's being done
And
well.
it's the only one at this point.
At this point, yeah, it's,
Yeah.
it's the one. And this is the last season, I think.
But no, I think it's great too. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I haven't watched enough of it, but that's the gist that I get from it. That everybody eats it up, and very few seem to have any problems with anything they do over there. I don't see much. I'm not in all the circles, but like I don't see a lot of fan backlash on that show.
It expands the universe a little bit. It tells
Yeah.
more stories, and they're doing it well using
Right.
a lot of Lucasfilms like sound stuff
Yeah.
and
And,
Well, they've always loved Rebels, though.
yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's never gotten. Even Clone Wars was well liked too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, I guess that pretty much wraps up that. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate the email. Look forward to hearing from you soon. You can check out Reasons or Several if you feel like you don't get enough, like you missed the sports here. That's the sports show we recommend. All right, they're not full sports and pop culture, but they cover more sports than we do. If you want to hear somebody kind of who knows that shit talk about that shit,
Yeah.
go over there, check out their shit. All right, and it's not shit. I'll tell you this right now.
It's just their shit.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
I'd like to go on an NHL podcast. That'd be cool.
Just like the official one,
Spin.
or just
I'm sure there is.
or
Spin
just
Chicklets.
I'm sure there's many.
what is it? What's it called?
It's Barstool Sports has one. It's called Spittin' Chicklets.
Spit and chicklets.
Spit and chicklets.
There you go.
It's
That's a broken
very-
tooth
it's
reference.
got-
Chickalese on chicklets.
Oh, you should have been on the show already.
There you see?
It's gotten very big.
See what I did there?
See what you did there? Look what I'm going to do right here.
I can't hear.
Da, 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 da,
I'm
deaf. Da.
Wesley.
Wesley. Hey, you gentlemen. So I put on some shorts recently.
Thank you.
And found a movie ticket stub from 2013 in the pocket. Has anything ever happened to you that's similar? I found money that way.
Yeah,
Yeah, I found $25 once.
Yeah.
I found a girl's phone number. I really should have called, and I got it.
No,
About 2
no,
weeks
I-
later.
I found like one of these nights. This is my good jacket. I'll wear it out to this thing or whatever. And then like months, like maybe even like a year later, I pulled it out and it was like, oh shit! I found like everything I had been looking for like
Three
the
doobies.
yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I found like easy widers.
I found like $120 that I had on me that night, like and because I had suit pants on, so everything was gonna fall out. So everything had to go into the inner jacket pocket. You know what I mean? Fucking. All kinds of stupid
See,
shit.
that's one of the-
gum in there that had gone to fucking like mush and stuff.
As a guy who used to wear suits every weekend, that was the thing. You'd stuff everything in the breast pocket. Then you realize when you close the jacket, you have this giant bulge over your your left tit.
Yeah. As you tighten it up and button it, right, all of a sudden it's like, oh, what is all this shit? It's my life pressed into this one thing.
Well, that's the thing that's going to save your life when
Right.
you get shot by.
As any moviegoer knows.
Yeah, I found like a little case of easy widers that's in the shape of a C because I was sitting down all day.
What are those?
Easy widers?
Oh, here we go. That's a
Gotta add it
reminder,
to the
folks.
list. Add it to the list.
Here's a
We're
reminder.
going to do a
paper.
show on the Ed list.
Here's a reminder, folks. Ask Ed.
They're tobacco paper.
Oh, okay. Sounded like some kind of like can opener.
That's the politically correct
Easy
version.
lighters. Easy openers.
It's tobacco paper. That's what it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just
like rolling papers?
rolling papers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Tobacco
Exactly. There you go.
paper. Yeah.
It's a brand. That's a brand. Easy water.
Keep saying tobacco.
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 It's back in my hands right here, guys. Let's get going.
So his next question. Death Note came out recently on Netflix.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, it did. I asked him.
I love you, Bill.
I love you too.
I
Baby.
love you, brother.
I love you.
I love you too,
I
brother.
love you.
Stop it.
Death Note came out recently
Alrighty
on
then.
Netflix. I ask, is the movie good for someone who knows nothing about the content? And I'd say I wouldn't know because I've neither read it,
Death
saw
Note.
the anime, or saw the movie.
Yeah, we need like an.
I know the song Death Tone.
Yeah, that's a different thing.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Yeah, I can't really
Yeah, we
recommend.
need an anime expert on this show.
Yeah, you need a friend. Dial a friend right now. This is like a Who Wants to
Yeah.
Be a Millionaire?
Well, I know a lot about
you wanna call
anime,
a
but
friend?
I've never seen that.
Right. Yeah, I never watched it either. I don't know, man. I think it's a thing where if it's a movie, you're supposed to be able to go into it cold, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a given, right? Like, that's why you make a movie, is that anybody should be able to walk into this. Bob fell asleep. Okay.
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here. I'm just, this is my third beer, so I'm getting a little
Oh, shit.
Hey, darn,
Oh,
over here.
shit. All right. So, what was the last book you read?
Last book I read was Fitness Confidential.
Ooh, keeping secrets about your fitness. It's good. I'm reading a book right now from like 1988. It's called Swan Song, and it's basically nukes. There's a nuclear war, and then it's like people trying to survive afterwards. It's kind of like The Stand. It gets a little bit mystical, kind of metaphysical at some point. So it's not straight up. It's written by a horror writer. You know what I mean?
What's his name?
McCormick, man, something like that. McCormick. Anyway, it's called Swan Song.
Cormac McCarthy.
No. I read The Road, but this is it's pretty good. I mean, it moves at a really good pace, and it's got some supernatural kind of not magic really.
What's it called again?
Swan Song. He's only got a handful of books that he's written, and nothing really ever got turned into anything. As I'm reading it, I'm like, well, I could make this a TV show.
That was Led Zeppelin's record label.
There you go.
It's by
Swan Song.
Robert R. McCammon.
That's how you say it. But I am enjoying it. It's a time capsule a little bit back into the 80s, but once they get past all the nukes and stuff, Bob hates the 80s.
1987.
That's bullshit. You love the fucking
I was gonna
80s.
say.
I grew up in the 80s.
Is originally published.
I don't like the way you're going.
Originally published 1987.
Right.
960 pages.
Yeah. I'm reading it in a paperback on the
Thank you,
bus.
Rain Man.
I'm getting
main character's name is Sister Creep.
yeah, and I'm getting a lot of crap from people. Well, not a lot of crap, but I'm getting every now and then I'm getting attention from people because I'm reading a book out in public as I'm waiting for the bus. So it's like, hey, what you reading? Like from strangers and shit, or like, like some black dude got me. He was like, what you reading, a love story? And I was like, there's no love in this heart, man. If it was a love story, I would have threw that shit in the garbage. Like, just to get a laugh, you know what I mean? He's like, yeah, I hear that.
But you don't like Sidney Sheldon?
No.
Jackie Collins?
I gave up all my Fabio books.
Romance novels?
When I used to read comics on the train, I'd always get like some people would ignore it, but every once in a while, one guy who would just be like, "Oh, hey, what's going on?"
Yeah.
Like, he wouldn't
sometimes you
say
make a
anything.
friend. Yeah.
He wouldn't say anything, but he'd like look at me from across, just kind of like looking at the cover, like. Well, if I ask, will you let me borrow it?
You know what's the worst
kinda
is that like when you're a fan of something, like there's a stereotype fan in that. Like there's a super fan, and in sports it's just like the guy who paints his chest or whatever. Like you know what I mean. And then with like comic books, it's this really like
Weird.
like super nerd weird dude.
Antisocial guy.
Yeah, really. And I got that guy right at my job, and he's always like, if you didn't look like you look, I'd have a conversation with you. But you look like, if you didn't dress like that, like you were a super nerd, you'd still be a super fucking creepo. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'd still be nervous around you. Like, I'd still think you were the Unabomber. And this guy's covered. He's got like stupid Spider-Man shoes on, and he ain't no young guy. He's got fucking receding hairline. He's losing his hair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he's got Captain America shirt, buttons all over his shoulder bag, and I'm just like, yeah.
His backpack is in the shape of a Captain America shield.
Yeah, and like when I get on with my backpack, I'm covering up my Hydra pin, like my Hydra button. Like I cover it with my hand with my strap. Like, you know what I mean? I like, don't look at it. But he pulls out comics on the bus. He's always bagged and boarded, and he'll sit there, and he's one of those guys, super comic guy.
Yep.
Gently, with only the very corner of the page, he's turning the page. I'm like, if you're that fragile about the comic, why did you even have it open on the bus? This bus could kind of like stop short anytime. Like, I've watched people fall on their asses.
Drop it onto that filthy floor when it's wet.
Exactly. Like, you know what I mean? You're going to get, I don't even let my book bag touch the floor. My backpack, like, I always call it a book bag, like I'm still in school.
Yeah.
But my backpack, like when I sit down and like I have to put it down, like I put it between my feet, and like it's actually just resting on my feet. Like, I don't let it touch this. It's bad if my shoes have to touch the fucking floor of the bus. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's more than you wanted to know.
Right. So, anybody else read any books?
The manual to my cell phone.
Hey, that's good.
It had a happy ending.
Yeah, you figured it out.
Mine was
You
really
solved your
exciting.
problem.
Mine was real exciting. It was how to repair guitars.
There you go. But as long as the two of you solved whatever problem that got you there, that's what matters most.
There you go.
Happy ending. Happy ending. Okay. What was the last? I'm sorry, you meant to say listen to. What was the last album you read?
This is Wesley stuff?
Could have been.
Yeah, it's
Could
Wesley stuff.
have been a photo album.
Could have been a photo album. Maybe he just means the lyric sheet. They used to
Yeah.
You
have
don't read a
giant-
photo album, you look at a photo
I was
album.
going to say. Well, I know for me, I most recently just listened to Action Bronson. I guarantee none of you at the table know who that is,
Well,
except for Bill.
Right, thank you.
But he just released a new album last week. He's a rapper. He's from right here, like out here in Queens.
Sure. Really good. I mean, I know you
dug
already
it.
sent me a
I
link
dug
to
it.
recommend, but I
dug
didn't
it.
get a chance.
Yeah, he's good. He's cool. He's funny.
I've seen him
You guys
on,
might recognize him because he's a big fat dude. That
he's got cooking shows.
He's got a
food
show
shows.
on Vice. It's called Fuck That's Delicious.
Fuck, that's
You
delicious.
might have seen that.
Last album I listened to was Motorhead's March or Die because I was looking for a track to put on
Yep.
the.
That's the latest one, right?
No, that's '92,
Oh wait, okay.
which Catch Scratch Fever came from.
What's the,
Oh, right.
From my Force Friday video.
what's the last one? Hard something, I think. Whatever. That was one of the last ones I listened to. That, and believe it or not, the last Metallica album. I didn't actually pay for it, but I listened to it, and I was actually kind of okay with it.
Yeah, is that the one
The
like a
newest
while
one.
back?
No, this one just came out this summer.
Okay.
It's got
'Cause-
hardwired to self-destruct.
Yes. Okay. Very good. I've been watching a video on
I
YouTube of
think
them
my
in the
biggest
studios.
issue with them now is James's voice is so different than it used to be.
Right.
Because he's become such a different singer.
Yeah.
Over time.
Whiskey in the jarro.
And they do crap like that too. It's just they still sold out.
Yeah.
You know?
But at least they've gotten a little harder in their sound.
They've gotten back to being more like Metallica.
Yeah.
Yeah, thrashy.
With this one.
Yeah.
I still think it's a little overproduced,
Considered.
over-considered and over-planned.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the essence of what Metallica was before the Black Album
Right.
is there.
So on their YouTube channel, actually, because I'm subscribed on their YouTube channel, they've got a.
Do they charge you for that?
No, not yet.
Be careful.
They might have a YouTube Red channel. Who knows?
No, they want to make you pay for the free one so that YouTube doesn't take a cut.
Yeah. I think I like.
They've been a lot more careful with a lot of that lately, though. Ever since the Napster thing, they try to stay away from getting setting themselves up for
to
that
be
kind.
dicks.
Yeah.
Actually, my video for the show, my pre-show video has Master of Puppets.
Yeah,
on
that's
there.
right.
I'm waiting
That's
for
right.
Lars Ulrich to fucking message me. And say,
Any man
Take
now.
it the fuck down.
Like, Uncle Jay, I don't think that's gonna work out. I don't think we're gonna like that. And Uncle Jay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, I've been watching. I'm still not done with it. It's like a 2-hour, all from the studio throughout that album, the new album, where it's just it's not like a documentary thing really, because it's just
No, but they do it with every album they do now.
Yeah, it's just installed footage and they just cut it together and they kind of break down every song. I think they were releasing them as segments and now they have one file that's just the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm digging it.
I think they need to use Robert Trujillo a little bit more.
Yeah.
He's the best bass player they've probably ever had. So he's definitely the most flexible and variable. So I think they need to utilize that a little bit more.
Sure.
You didn't like Newstead?
No, I like Jason Newsted just fine.
But bring him into the process is
but-
what you mean,
Well,
right?
no, I think
Well, he
Jason
got the show
Trujillo.
that- yeah.
Jason Trujillo can go all over that bass guitar.
Oh, I
like
know.
Nobody's business.
Yeah. And they don't use
Jason
right.
Newsted. As good as Jason Newsted is, he's a different kind of player.
Right.
And so was Cliff. But now you got a guy that can slap pop, do all this other stuff. He can bring those bass lines to life a lot better than anybody else could. He can be more creative in creating one. So,
But he's not really
Let him
stretching.
go.
He's not. Yeah, they're not really letting him stretch in this.
Yeah,
I'll totally agree with you because from watching this video that I was talking
Yeah.
about, like you just
he's just doing straight up a bass player stuff, middle
Yeah.
bass player stuff.
Right.
He's not even doing like he used to do with Suicidal Tendencies. He was phenomenal. in
Yeah.
Suicidal Tendencies.
That's a great fucking band.
So
all right.
I think Chris Meyer would be very proud
of what? All this music
of
talk
all this music talk.
from Chris from our liner
from
notes.
our liner
Yeah.
notes. By the way, I think he owes us an email.
He does it. He does owe us an email. At the end of my episode, I was
is that
like,
the one that Palmer's supposed to be getting me on?
yes,
Yeah.
one at a time. But he does owe us an email.
Yeah, at the end, I listened to that episode today. He's promised the Tenacious D album that you threw in there for there.
Right.
He promised that he would listen to the whole thing and send us a review.
And I'm sure he's just got a busy
it.
schedule.
Do it.
Looking forward to it.
Do
if,
it.
if he remembers.
Do it.
Last question from Wesley.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I don't remember because the last album I listened to is I don't really listen to music.
Right. That's why subconsciously I was skipping you. in
Yeah.
that.
You know what, Bob? There's only one song after the Black Album I like by them, and that's
What,
it.
Through the Never?
2x4. No, after the Black
Okay.
Album, Through the Never, 2x4. It's on the Load album. That's
Yeah.
the only good song
Yeah.
in 20 years.
So you've heard all the other songs?
Well,
I've heard a lot of them, and I didn't
Of what
like-
you've heard.
I didn't like anything
I
after
think,
the Black
I think
Album.
there's
Fair
two
enough.
good commercial Metallica songs. I think there's Fuel and King Nothing are both good commercial songs. They're not. Do I consider them to be true Metallica songs? No.
That's after the Black Album.
Right.
I mean,
But if I have to pick out of those albums, those are the two that I like the best.
I know no one likes it, but I still like this. A couple tracks on Saint Anger I really like. I know people skip the album.
You're a bit more open-minded than most people when you listen to things in general.
Oh
So,
shit!
and you don't hold the burden that I have.
Yeah.
Of being burned by them. And a lot,
yeah,
a lot of
I'm
other
with
people
Bob.
do.
I was burned. You know
Yeah,
what I
no,
mean?
yeah. I was.
'Cause
You forget
they
that
were-
I was
they
burned
were
too.
They were supposed to be the band that didn't have to sell out and would still become superstars.
Could have done it without
and
it.
prove to the record labels that you don't have to fuck with them.
Yeah.
At least that's what it was to me, and I think that's what it was to a lot of metalheads. And they went and said, okay, well, we'll take the $50 million record deal where we own everything, and we're just going to sell out right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They didn't have to. They sold. They had the deal.
Yeah.
They could have done anything they wanted at that point, and it didn't matter. But that's when they did it.
Then they brought in Bob Rock.
It was the Samson complex.
they
You cut
could-
the hair off, they lost all the power.
They could have.
Basically.
They could have brought in Bob Rock. They could bring in whoever the hell they want.
It wouldn't
They
have
got- they
mattered.
got the
Right, no, I
money.
hear you.
It's
Yeah.
just the fact that they sold out. And then what they do for the next 2 albums after the Black Album, they just rehashed everything that they were writing for the Black Album
Yeah.
and put it on.
They
two
did a
more
lot of
albums.
recycling for a phase there.
I
With
did.
Death
And
Magnetic,
all
they
of it sounded like it was like it's off the same riff.
Yeah.
from
Yes.
Enter Sandman.
Yes.
Saint Anger, I feel like, started their trajectory back, though. I mean, granted, Death Magnetic, and from then
Yeah.
on, really kind of brought back the thrash in a very different
Right.
way. But at least, like, Saint Anger was them trying to figure out what the fuck they did wrong, and it was
Yeah.
part of the.
Well, they
It was part of the process, I think, of burning off the old.
Trial and error.
Yeah,
Well,
you know.
well, the thing with Saint Anger, the problem with Saint Anger was that they were trying to be current, not
Yeah.
not
yeah.
different.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah,
They
fair
were
enough.
No, because they were going for something that was a sound over in Europe, and they were trying to do again with and bring that sound here. That tone that they had in there.
Are we
was
boring
actually
you?
a style.
No, not at all.
No,
Not
you
at all.
close your eyes too. I
It was
mean,
actually,
you know.
No.
It was actually an actual style of metal that was coming up that
Yeah.
they wanted to jump on.
Yeah.
So that was supposed to be a big deal, but they jumped on instead of created,
Fair enough.
which was always their point. So now when you got fans who are you're supposed to be saying, "Look, guys, this is us now."
Yeah.
It's like, no, now you're just doing something else like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. You
Yeah.
still
You
haven't
know
got
what I mean?
right.
You're not doing what you were supposed to do.
Oh, yeah, it definitely didn't
You're
land.
not doing Metallica. You're doing
This other thing.
this other thing, which is still the same mindset applies.
Right,
You're
right.
still trying to appeal to a mass audience as opposed to just writing.
Just be you.
Right.
You know, just be
and
you.
I think most bands perform their best and write their best material when they're just being themselves and they don't give a damn about what else goes on.
Ring the fucking bell. just
So yeah, evidently,
one would have been great.
evidently, Chris Myers in the chat. I did not know that. when I
No,
said
no,
that.
no, 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 no. We're not We're not getting into
Yeah.
it. We're not getting.
No,
we,
no, no,
We
but-
just. We just.
but he said
a monthly
he's
15 minutes on Metallica.
He said
We have to-
he's on the email. That's what I'm saying.
okay.
The email from before. I did not know he was in the chat when I called him out. All right, moving on.
Moving
Next
on.
question.
Last question. Would you consider lasagna to be Italian cake?
No, because it's not a dessert.
Hasn't someone emailed us this before?
I do
I
consider
feel like it's a
lasagna
thing.
to be awesome.
Bill's reading last year's email.
I went to the saved bin. No, I don't think so. I you know. I think there is some kind of like universal question about like lasagna or something like that. Or no, it's like pie versus cake or some shit. I don't know, but I don't. It's a good swing, Wes. But I don't know if that really is a good analogy necessarily.
Nice try.
But
Nice fucking try.
you know, Italian cake would be fucking
I mean, because you could say
tiramisu. No, that's not Italian.
Napoleon cake.
There you go, Napoleon,
No,
the
that's-
rainbow cake.
That's
French. It's
That's
French.
French.
it's French. I'm kidding.
Eh.
Yeah, I mean it's weird because I guess you could say because pizza's a pie and that's not a dessert. But I don't know.
Yeah, but
This
it's not a
question
pizza.
needs further
It's
consideration
not
at a later
pizza,
date.
though. Lasagna isn't a pizza.
No, but what he's saying is if I guess if pizza is an Italian pie, could lasagna be an Italian cake?
Oh. Well, I mean, if this is to that, what that is to this, we're doing one of those
I
things.
say no either way.
You know,
Just
You
on
know.
principle.
No.
if you're doing, you know, a pizza is to pie, what lasagna is to cake. then that doesn't really hold
No,
up either.
doesn't-
Almost,
still doesn't
almost,
drive.
yeah, almost.
I understand where you're going with that.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
Italian, for Christ's sake.
Italian,
no,
raised
no.
in Jersey.
Lasagna is a meal.
Yeah, well, that's for sure. A cake can be a meal too, but you pay for it.
You know what I think?
You know what?
it
You pay for eating a whole lasagna too.
Yeah. You know what I think it is?
Yeah.
It's lasagna.
It's a one of a kind.
Yeah.
It's a casserole.
It's Italiano casserole. Oh, it's Italiano casserole. All right, so that was that.
Asshole. Rhymes with asshole.
He's going to sign off with This is Ellen Ripley, last survivor of the Nostromo, signing off. That's from Alien.
Thanks,
if
Ellen.
you didn't know. All right,
Like US.
that's going to wrap up the emails, folks.
All right.
And that's usually just about what brings the main show to an end ski. Let me look over the stuff here. Yep. We hit it all. Did you guys have fun?
I had fun.
Wow.
Sort of.
The time.
Yeah.
Good time.
Yeah, could you imagine?
5
Yeah.
guys.
This is unheard of.
Throw out the Twitter handles. We need to end
This is
now.
unheard of. All right, so who's in the chat room right now, though? Of non-stafficals.
We got
Like
Clint.
civilians, yeah.
We got Chris Meyer. We got Thomas K. We got Wesley, Chad, Meow God.
Wow, okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Don't go anywhere. We're going to do a thing when we come back, and you guys are going to be involved. It's a little thing we're going to have some fun with. Well, experiment. We'll see how it goes.
I'm real glad to have Meow God in
It's nice. Coming all the way from a whole other country.
Malaysia, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
What?
The land of cats.
No, I was looking through you, not so much at you. I'm sorry.
I'm looking through you.
Because you're nothing to me.
That's right.
We're going to wrap it up. And if you stick around, you're going to get the after show. If you're not sticking around, you're not listening to us live. The after show you can only find on Patreon. But hey, you can get that for $1 a month. $1 a month. We'll get you all the after shows. $3 a month to get you the extra Patreon specials. Hey, Dom Torrey, you recently signed up for the Patreon.
I did.
You did, folks. Even Dom Torrey's doing it. How about that? You can do
Wow.
it too. All right. We appreciate that support. Once again, if you want to send us emails, send them to podcast@Wicked Theory. Uncle Jay, where can people find you and follow you out in the world?
I don't remember.
Fair enough. We'll go to Ed. Ed, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Edward O'Hare TBD.
Jay, you gonna take another swing? No.
No.
Okay.
All right. You can find me on Twitter at Dom_Tory. That's Torre.
There you go.
You can find me outside tomorrow. I was doing a yard sale.
Ooh, fancy.
And I'll be there for you. I'll be there.
No, you can find me at Bob WTPC.
There
You
you go.
can
You can
catch me outside, you fucking.
catch me outside.
I will be selling guitars tomorrow.
Hey-o.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby, selling these guitars. And you can find me at Wicked Theory. You can find the show at wickedtheory.com. Available on Google, iPlay, Stitcher, Tunes, stuff. Rate, review, subscribe, write email, whatever.
Check out the my YouTube channel.
Hey,
I
check
got
out
a
Jay's
little
YouTube channel.
Force Friday video.
Force Fox 5.
Force Fox 5.
Where can people find that, Jay?
You can find me at Uncle Jay at Jason Chickalese.
Where? What's your YouTube channel?
You
Uncle
can find
Jay 60.
Uncle Jay 73.
There you go. That's how you
Was
find
my
him.
YouTube channel.
Search for channels. Uncle Jay.
I put a few videos up there. They're all linked to Wicked Theory. I use that as a keyword.
Sure. That's nice of you. You're a good little boy.
73.
I try to be.
You try to be. It's good. It's good to try. All right, Brother Bob, that's it. We're done.
The Wicked Theory podcast is heard live every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern until whenever. Just go to mixler.com/wicked-theory. Mixler is MIXLR. Sign up to join the chat. Then click the follow button to get reminders whenever the show goes live. You can find the show on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, wherever good podcasts are given away for free, and at wickedtheory.com. You can support the show at patreon.com/wickedtheory. There you can get the after show if you miss it live. God forbid. Plus other exclusive episodes. As always, send your emails to podcast@wickedtheory.com.